Hello, my Tukuriada subscribers, fans, viewers. How are you doing today? Here I am on the eve of Chelsea's finals against Betis, the Spaniards. But I wouldn't even go into betting, preview, talking about that, but I'll be watching, and you know it's all blues. No, that's not what I'm talking about today. There's a heavy subject in mind. Heavy in athletics. For some of us, we've taken time to observe, cheer, and sometimes we investigate. And I've taken time to give more a thing, the 800 meters American runner, Sudanese born, a model. I'm told she has a career on the side. It could be a savior for her in athletics because I'm suspicious that fall, that stumble, that crash in the finals of Olympic US trials in Eugene was it was bigger than we suspected. I'm saying this because in Olympics, as a sport, as a global sport, it's not an ordinary athletic event. You, the audience, are aware of what it is. Olympics is as big as anything else, and we, the fans, are just spectators. You wonder how the athletes navigate that sphere of performance and excellence. So, more I think gets another episode because she ran in LA this weekend, 1500 meters in the third heat, where she ran a 4:13 in the 1500 meters. That gives me something to ask. What happened to Moa Thing, the upcoming star of 800 meters? If you want to know somebody, if you want to know any athletes for me, you investigate a little bit of what happened when she fell during the final. Because I remember watching it and I remember tears coming down my face because I felt the pain of Moa Thing. I've gone through that clip more than once, more than twice. I've tried to see where things happen because the only time you see Moa Thing showing up in that race is the first 200 meters. Everything else after that was she's trying to get out of the field. So, before I go to more thing, I want to make a reference point for what happens in the Olympics. And I'll give you another example of an American distance runner who was a 9 times champion in the Division I School or University of Wisconsin in the 90s. The name might not be familiar to you, young audience, but Suzy Favor Hamilton is bigger than and larger than life for most of us. I trained with her one time here at Nike. She was at the top of her game at that time. She was training for Sydney Olympics trials in 2000. She was the golden girl. Nike did a commercial with her that was anything but. I think one of the things about being a lady, being blonde and being white and being athletic, it doesn't matter. You can be any race. But Suzy Hamilton at the top of her career was the face of distance running. So she goes to Sydney Olympics as a hot favorite, that's for sure, representing America. You can watch the clip of the finals in 1500 meters women. Suzy Hamilton, the field was very good, and it was as good as you can see in the final. And Suzy Hamilton is there working, running, positioning herself for the penultimate lap. Forget about the other laps. And there's a surge of athletes. She wasn't the only one. I think coming to the bell, there's a Portuguese runner whom I forgot her name. She takes the lead, and Suzy is well positioned in second place. When we come the back straight of the 300 meters to go, there's a traffic, there's a siege, the lanes get narrow, everything is right there. I don't think she was able to separate herself from the rest of the competition. And you can tell there's stress on Suzy Hamilton's face. When she comes off the home straight, you can watch this, I've watched this because I'm a curious observer of athletes and a fan. When she came off the home straight, other athletes start to pass Suzy Hamilton. And you start to watch something that you normally don't see, but Suzy being Suzy that I've known, and some of us had observed her in 92 Olympics in Barcelona, 96 Atlanta, something about her wasn't right all the time in the final. So in Sydney, something unprecedented happened. When she's passed, she seems to collapse, or her legs just give way, and she collapses and falls on the track. For a split second or so, she finds some energy to redeem herself. She gets up, she jogs to the finish line, almost embarrassed. And you can tell from her face, we don't know. I mean, we are observing. I was watching on TV like everybody else. And before you know, she's stumbling. She looks like she's confused. She doesn't know where she is. Then they bring a wheelchair. She sits on it. But something weird was happening when I was watching this. She's able to fix her hair. She's trying to keep that look of Suzy, the model, Hamilton. I'm like, that's weird. No, hold on a minute. I'll leave you at that. Let me fast forward to a few years later about Suzy. I'll keep it to Suzy. She wrote a book, a very revealing book about herself and her mental health. And I'm here to confess sometimes that you don't know athletes until you read their books, when they start to tell us about their struggles. And apparently, throughout her life, they never diagnosed or detected that she had bipolar. And the stigma that comes with maybe mental health in society and back then. So apparently that's what she was dealing with. She talks in her book about growing up in a family that just saw her as a good girl, who is out there to perform, who is there to deliver. And for her, in that final, all she knew was gold. And it goes to the culture of America where winning is everything. And you can see how that can affect people psychologically, and the pressure and the stress, anxiety of if you get a bronze, you're not good enough. And we are talking of Olympics in Sydney. Keep Suzy Hamilton in mind. Let's go to more thing in the finals of the trials going to Olympics. I've watched that race. I watched more thing when they were getting into the starting line. They were mentioning the names, and more thing has come to us at a very young age. She went to UT, University of Texas. She was a winner. She had, she's known winning is everything, as I say. And she won the Olympics. She is almost going as a defending champion into 2024. I'm of the opinion, and I thought that Moa Thing was under duress, mentally, physically, and everything else. You can be in good shape, and she was in that race. But if you watch the body language, you have to be careful as an athlete, as some of us have done. And I used to help athletes mentally when I was coaching high school, preparing them. That's something I learned from my coach in college. You have to prepare mentally when you're under duress. Mo Thing takes off the first 200 meters in the finals. Stay with me. You can watch the clip. I'm just telling you my perspective. As she comes into the 200 meters, Mo Thing is used to separating herself from the rest of the competition because she's a tall, lanky, long-legged, Sudanese-born American runner. It doesn't happen to her. She doesn't get the space. So there's this idea, it's as if they're coming into this funnel. The athletes funnel into the first, second, third lane, even fourth lane. It's a big group of athletes. Watch carefully as they come to the 200 meters. I watch this. Mo Athing loses focus and turns her eyes for a split of a second to watch the competition in the inside. On the left side of running, she turns for a split of a second and she's gone. She's being stampeded on the ground. And the athletes that, there's one athlete that jumped over her and they were gone. She finds the energy, adrenaline of course. She picks herself up and she takes off with adrenaline. She knows this is not the, you can, in 800 meters, nobody has ever come back, nobody. So she makes an effort to close the gap. She doesn't. When she came to the penultimate lap, that bell, bum, 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 this is it. She's still making that desperate effort to close the gap. The gap is not closing because the athletes have taken off. One more thing, let me give you something. She comes back to the black spot or her graveyard that she had fallen. And I tell you what, watch carefully. It's as if that spirit seizes her and she doesn't have anything left. I'm just maybe overanalyzing this. She starts to literally almost walk to the finish line. As she's coming the home straight, she's saying something to herself. Watch her lips. Her lips are moving and she's almost murmuring, mumbling something. Me thinks she's telling herself, I am done. It's, to be honest with you, when the cameras are on you, the world is shining light on you, they wish you the best, and this is what is happening in the final. The winner takes it all. Second place, third place go to the Olympics. Mo Athing is bringing herself to the finish line. Mo Athing walks through that finish line, goes into the tunnel. She's still in that emotional state of wilting and she wants the earth to swallow her. Trust me, you could tell. When she went through that tunnel, she was like, I'll never have this opportunity again. Is that what I'm just saying that she's saying? I don't think so. But you can see the demise. This idea that it was bigger than you and I could agree. Mo Athing is now trying to redeem herself through 1,500 meters, 5,000 meters. Bob Cousy, our coach, is talking of trying to detour her to come back to shape and glory. She got married to a Russian, I don't remember his last name. It's a good partner who apparently has been guiding her, supporting her emotionally. I remember one thing when she spoke when she was interviewed. There's a fragility to being in the spotlight. She's the lady that has brought some dignity to our family that was a refuge family that came from Sudan to America. Imagine the pressure. Imagine the expectations. It's Olympics. You are Mo Athing, the winner, the defending champion. I don't think we truly understand the ramifications and the damage of that fall, and the scars that come with it. But my observation from a distance is that, like Suzy Hamilton in 2000, Sydney Olympics, these ladies or any athletes at that category, mostly women, and how people view women, I don't think Mo Athing will ever be the same again. Am I writing what I call athletic eulogy for her? I'm not. I'm just giving you my perspective and opinion. When you watch Mo Athing racing in LA this weekend, there's a lot of a head scratcher moment. You're like, man, what happened? She's 22. There could be time for her to recover and come back to athletics again and perform at that highest level. But she's a model too, and that maybe could be a channel to redeem herself career-wise. I wish her the best, but my take on this is that I don't think that fall in the final of 2024 going into Paris was just a stumble. It could be a fall that was fatal to our career in athletics. In the 800 meters, me saying it could be, but again, people always come back. I wish I were more thing. That was me, Tuko Riada, with JKKC, telling you life is still beautiful even when you fall. You can rise.